It's an amazing learning experience.
Hang on, you gotta start out right. 3, 2, 1, action.
Okay.
What do you have to say?
Welcome to Rant Rave, the show that takes seemingly random topics and does the unthinkable with them. I am your host, Don Michaels. We are continuing on with our 48 special edition. And on this show, we have Nick and Joe, the Fiorella Brothers. I am going to walk you through this interview as two-way communication was not available. My first question for Nick and Joe is asking them a little bit about themselves. Can they tell us who they are? Let's listen to what they have to say.
Our history in filmmaking.
We are brothers.
We are brothers.
And we've been making films since we were kids on our parents' camera. And
they had one of the early digital Sony cameras that was released.
It's actually pretty sweet. There's a lot of things on it.
For an 80s video camera.
Yeah, there's a lot of different settings.
It was high tech.
So we like movies and stuff, and our big thing is like children of the 80s, so like Back to the Future, Ghostbusters. But anyway, so we're obsessed with special effects, so that's kind of our thing as directors.
Yep, special effects.
That's pretty much it. We like movies that involve special effects. And we got into the 48. We're from Akron, and we heard about it, so we drove up, did the 48, and I think it was in literally like 2008 was the first year that we did it. That was the Runners movie that we did.
2008?
I think so.
Man. Yeah, we've done it like 4 times ever since. Yeah. The first time we did it, we were late turning it in, so we were only eligible for the audience award.
The second time we were late too.
Really?
Yeah.
We don't have a very good. It's a tough competition. We don't have a good track record. Yeah. But we got it down now. We're gonna be.
We
on
got
time
our last
now.
2 in on time.
And we asked them, have they won any awards?
And we won some awards. Aren't we supposed to talk about that?
We won awards. We've won awards for best cinematography.
Awards. That's right.
Best visual effects.
And graphics, which is
graphics, best graphics.
And then the horror one that we did last, we won best location.
Yeah.
So we asked the Fiorella Brothers, what makes it so challenging to be part of the 40-hour film project here in Cleveland? Let's see what they have to say.
And the 48-hour film festival is a tough thing. You go there on Friday, but normally you go there, you pick a genre out of the hat, and then they give you a line, a prop, and a character that you have to incorporate in your film. And then basically Friday night you spend writing it and pre-production in it. Saturday you shoot the film, which is by far the hardest part. And then hopefully Saturday night, Sunday, you're editing your movie and putting it together and rendering it out and running your ass up to Cleveland so you can turn it in.
What is the longest time you slept on a project?
Which was like, for me, it was like 2 hours one night and then 3 hours the next.
Yeah, usually the first Friday night it's minimal.
Yeah,
and then you
there's
shoot
not
the
very
film,
much sleep involved.
And then you shoot the film, and then once that's done on, so yeah, Friday night you don't get any sleep hardly.
Pretty much not.
Saturday night, after you've done all your shooting, maybe you get like 7 hours of sleep, and then you wake up and shoot and then you start editing on Sunday.
Yeah.
What?
Well, yeah. I was editing at that time during the Sunday morning.
Nick does everything. Yeah. I just, I'm just bullshit. Here.
What makes it so exciting or challenging to be part of the 48-hour project?
It's an amazing learning experience.
It's an amazing learning experience. You have to think on your feet, come up with stuff, quickly. You don't have a lot of time.
You don't have time to second guess.
So you're kind of going on your gut instinct and hoping that turns out good. I think that's what reveals who the good filmmakers are and who isn't.
Well, it's also a good learning experience to just go with your gut instinct and see if that worked out and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is great. I mean, you know what I will say? I have been under very tight deadlines for like a project that you have to get done for work or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
When you do the 48, you can literally like...
It simulates that.
It simulates being under the tightest of deadlines. And I've been on some serious deadlines for work and went, this is nothing in comparison to the 48. I can handle it.
So it prepares you it kind of prepares you because it's such a difficult deadline.
Yeah.
That nothing else can equate to it.
Yeah. Where I've been in drowning waters on a certain deadline and been like, fine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the 48 was the most
48
intense.
hour.
It made me comfortable.
Prepared for
it's like Marines that drown themselves to be comfortable, like if they were to slightly drown. Do you know what I mean?
You're a filmmaking Marine.
Well, you see what I'm saying, though.
No,
it's
I see what you're saying.
Drowning in pressure.
I think what you're trying to say is it prepares you for it.
Yeah,
It prepares you for it.
That's right.
That's good.
So we want to know, is it building a team or leading a team?
What goes into making a good team? It's not so much what goes into like making a good team as into what goes into leading a team and making it good, making that team good through the leadership that you provide.
So it's leading a team.
And inspiring them.
You got to keep it inspirational and fun and
about the experience of it all.
And about the experience of making a movie in 48 hours. So, as long as you're doing that, you should be good.
So it's in terms of like trying to like speak to it like solid. You definitely want to invite people that have done it before, even maybe.
Yeah, but we've worked
who
with
are
people
comfortable.
Who never have done it before.
That's true, and they're kind of just.
And they
listening.
worked out.
They did, and they were just kind of listening to us along the way. So I would say though, you obviously want to incorporate people that know what they're in for.
Yeah, you should. That helps because then you don't have to have that kind of talk, or I don't know what you call it. That kind of they understand.
Who understands?
Right.
But you still have to, leadership-wise, what makes a good team is you still have to make it fun. And you have to lead the team
I agree. Yeah.
into a fun direction.
Yeah.
The 48-hour film festival, it's so stressful that you could, in trying to lead your team, you could potentially divulge into being stressed out and being in a bad situation.
That's true.
And it's important to, make it fun and... especially when you're working with actors, everybody has an opinion on what acting is, and you kind of just go on that, and you make it fun and making it like it's an acting experience. Like, here's their chance to be an actor in this 48 hours. So it's a lot of fun.
Now we're going to find out what it takes to be a good actor, or at least in the opinions of the Fiorella Brothers.
As well, for the 48-hour film festival, you generally don't have the convenience of working only with good, reliable actors. You're working with anybody who you can find that basically has an interest in acting. And what that comes down to is some people are going to be better than others, but what it really comes down to is having a good workflow with these people, taking the time to come up with a good workflow to bring out the best performance in people that might not be professional actors, but are willing to try acting. So you have to make it a situation where their best performance can come out. And that comes into, working with them, making them feel comfortable.
And fun.
And also guiding their performance and whatnot with the abilities that they have, as on whatever acting skill level they are. So you have to work with those abilities to come up with a good performance.
I would say too, obviously, in light of what you're getting at, is like our last 48 that we did, the actors were only there. On the last 48-hour film festival we did, our best actors canceled on us. The night of.
So we had to go with actors that aren't actors.
But are friends of ours.
That are friends of ours, and that did great. And that really came down to creating that comfort level working with them to bring the best performance out. You know, when you create that comfort level, they want to give their best performance. So that is so key. When you create the comfort level and you make it a situation where they understand that they're acting in a movie, because everybody watches movies, they look at it as a great opportunity and they want to give their best performance. So it's just up to you to create that situation where they feel that way, and then once they do, guiding their performance to be the best that it can be.
So now we've heard about how to comfort actors, what an actor is, good actor, bad actor, non-actor, as these gentlemen have told us. Now let's listen how we actually utilize actors.
Best way to utilize the actors within 48 hours. I mean, everybody's got to have a sit down when you first show up to the shoot to kind of go through the script. Everybody understands their part. Everybody knows their motivation. And you get a basis of the character with each actor to go on.
Come on, Joe. Can you be honest with me?
The 48 hours is such a go by your gut type of thing.
A lot of times
that
you show up and we just have to tell the people, like, this is your character and whatnot.
A lot of it, just by the nature of the 48, when you're working on it, a lot of it is just take by take working it out. And it's part of the fun of it too, is you're going take by take, you're trying to get the best performance. I mean, there really isn't any definitive, efficient way to go about it. You just have to go by your gut, work with your actors, take it one step at a time, and get through the whole material.
And if you could mail them the script that night, that would probably be a good idea.
That would help.
Just to get them to read the script.
That would help. If they actually read it, because by the time you're done with your script, it's on Friday night, it's probably 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
What time did he just say?
That's right.
Then,
And they're asleep.
they're probably sleeping, so the likelihood
They don't read
of
it
that.
until the morning anyway.
One of the best ways to utilize your actors on the 48 is to make sure that they've read the script either the night before or right before you start shooting. Make them read the script.
Now let's listen to how these guys handle pre-production.
Well, you can't really prepare for the 48-hour film festival because you don't know what genre you're getting. You generally, you pick that out of the hat. You have to incorporate a character line and prop that they give you. So, I mean, the only way to prepare, maybe you go through the list of genres and you think about different plots that you might want to make a film around and things like that. But really, a lot of it comes down to, you pick this stuff out of a hat and it's all, it all blossoms from there. So as far as preparation before that happens, I mean, you have to get your location scouted.
Equipment.
You got to get your team and your equipment. But there's no preparing for what kind of story you're going to come up with.
Let's see how these guys define funding.
How do you go about scoring funds? I don't know how you do it.
I don't know. I want to know that. Yeah. Scoring some funds.
All right. Well, funds on a 48-hour film festival, on a 48-hour film, aren't generally like money. You're not talking about funds in terms of money.
You're talking about resources.
You're talking about resources. You're talking about assets. You're talking about locations. You're talking about actors. You're talking about film equipment.
Yeah, and to go into that, what you're saying further, that has to do with your ability to be a salesman in terms of like getting people to work with you, especially if it's a location. Like if it's an actor, they're excited because it's a passionate artistic project. But if it's a location, the person who you're convincing to let you shoot there is just like, woo, this would be cool for a film. Okay, but you have to convince them to let you do it. And in a lot of cases, that's not like, an easy thing.
No, it's not.
So your ability to be a salesman and get people involved is all I'm saying.
So 48-hour film festival isn't driven by someone's monetary value. It's driven by what kind of assets and people you can network.
And how you inspire those people too. Is like, even if it's a location.
Yeah.
You have to inspire that person to let you do it.
To want to be a part of it, yeah.
Exactly, right.
And here's what the Fiorella Brothers had to say about the type of equipment you need.
We rented equipment last year.
It's, you know what, I'll tell you what seems to be very necessary, and you would probably know more about this than I would, but what seems to be very necessary is if you can rent a good camera. That seems to be very important.
That's a big expense, though, for somebody.
Yeah.
We rented lenses and stuff.
Or lenses,
And
whatever.
we borrowed lights.
You should probably educate yourself on what it's going to take to make your film look good.
That's true.
Yeah, and you might, try and...
I'm just saying, and yeah, camera obviously is super important. It's just a big thing. I mean, like, for someone to rent, maybe.
Yeah.
But at the same time, not. I mean, like, you know what? I'm sorry. Maybe I'm completely wrong. So, in light of what you're saying, these camera rental companies, they, you rent it for one day, but you get a weekend discount. So if you rent it on Friday, you don't have to have it back until Monday.
Don't they usually give a discount when they know it's the 48 weekend too?
Sometimes. Like, I don't know if Dodd Camera does, but Cleveland Camera Rental does. Okay. Usually. Where they offer a discount and they work with Brian and stuff.
So yeah, it's a convenience to, it's definitely a convenience to be able to rent and use like expensive equipment. But to be honest with you, on our first 48-hour film, we didn't even have lights. All we had was a camera. It wasn't even a very good camera at that.
Did we have lights?
I think the camera that we shot in...
I think I had some lights.
I don't think we had any lights. No, we didn't have any lights. No.
Okay.
And we shot with a camera that only shot in 720. Didn't even shoot 1080.
That's probably true. It's still a good movie, though.
Hey, friends, hang tight. We're going to take a quick break.
Can you stick around for a commercial break?
Sure.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
About as much adrenaline as you can have behind a computer.
I love the fact that you're given this specific criteria and this timing to make something great, because I really feel like it pushes you to see what you can do and how creative you can be.
It makes your brain work in a way afterwards that really kind of rejuvenates you, recharges your batteries after doing the 48-hour film project.
I think everybody on our team, almost to a person, is completely hooked and can't wait to do it again. It was just an amazing experience.
I can't wait to the next professional project after the 48, because I feel like, okay, that's right, that's why I'm doing this, because it's fun.
If you're into film and you want to make film, this is a great way to do it.
It's so worth it.
So, Joe, do you like the show?
Yeah.
Talking about the process. Well,
From when you pick it out of a hat.
you can't, yeah, I mean, for us, it's always been a situation where we get the genre, we get all the elements that we have to incorporate into the movie.
We drive home thinking about
We drive home thinking about it,
coming up with the idea.
and like a solid 3 hours, maybe longer, of just solid brainstorming.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No, nothing's written down.
Yeah.
It's just solid brainstorming. Then, and that brainstorming not only needs to come up with the concept of your movie,
Well, the
but it
structure.
also needs to come up with the structure so that when you do go to start writing it,
you
you
know.
have an idea of the path that you're going to plot.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, Friday night is basically all that. So once you get past that brainstorming, you get your structure down, you start writing it,
Yeah.
write it out on Friday night. Maybe at the end of the writing at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, you do a little bit of pre-planning shots and things for the next shooting day. And then you go to bed because the sleep is
That's
very
actually
important.
an interesting thing too. Is you actually, I think, do more of the work on that first night.
I did.
That's why you felt you were
I
talking
think
about
that-
in the second night. You're like, oh, I got like 7 hours. Of sleep.
Maybe.
It's because
That
in the
first night is crucial
you're
for me.
doing a lot of the writing and the conceiving, and then you go to
Yeah.
sleep. You're like, I've done a good job.
I only
And that-
ever get...
yeah.
Sometimes, I remember one time I didn't even sleep like an hour. Literally. Like, I put my head down and I woke up. It felt like 5 minutes later and we had to get
Yeah.
everything ready.
On that second night, that's what it's very much like
For you.
For me.
You're
Because
compiling.
we shoot it and then I'm editing it.
Yeah, you're putting all the footage together.
And I sleep for about an hour or so, and then I wake right back up and essentially like maybe slightly finish editing, but then we're on to special effects and sound design.
Mm-hmm.
So that highlights the process, I guess, for us. We get the genre, we think about the idea all the way home, we write it that night, we shoot it the next day. We tend to usually try to find some time to storyboard. Editing, graphics. Usually I get a cut done and then we do
I was going
do
on something
special
good there.
effects and stuff while I do
Friday
sound
night
design.
is writing and everything. Saturday you get up, you shoot it. You get all the actors together, you shoot it and everything.
Okay.
Saturday night you start, compiling your footage. You start deciding on what takes were the best out of what you shot.
You edit
And
all
you
night.
work those into a rough edit. And then Sunday you start honing down that edit, adding, the more subtle cuts and edits. You're adding the sound effects, you're adding the music.
And special effects.
You're adding any visual effects that you've decided to put in your movie and stuff like that. And then you're rendering it out, which is a very important part of the process. You have to make sure that you're allotting yourself a time slot to render out.
And just how long should you give it to render?
An hour and a half.
It takes an hour and a half to render.
Although maybe our computer was slow. But actually, yeah. Because actually on our last film, we were like, we're not going to make it. Because we were rendering it out, and then for whatever reason,
Yeah. So you want to
The
give
render
yourself at
quick.
least
Yeah.
an hour, two if possible,
to at least render, yeah.
to render. Because depending on what you came up with, I mean, you're putting all this work into it, and then all of a sudden you find out it's going to take over an hour to render. Don't forget that. It's a very crucial part.
We have been finding out about how the teams handle sleep. Let's hear about how these guys handle the sleep.
Yeah, I mean, sleeping is crucial. I would say that with us, you want to divvy out the work, maybe, so one person gets a chance to sleep while the other person works. That type of thing.
Yeah.
Also, espresso beans
Chocolate covered espresso beans.
or any type of coffee is essential.
Red Bull. For me. I joked about that with somebody, and said that to somebody, but
No, I mean, you want to make sure you get your sleep and all that, so.
I understand that at the end of all production, short films, big films, or silent films, it is customary for the director to yell, "That's a wrap." Let's find out what they say.
Normally, at the end of the shoot, we don't say, "That's a wrap." Or if we do, it's basically like, "Okay, we're done.
yeah.
Thank God."
Yeah.
Let's get out of here because we've pushed our time slot
Too
at
far.
this location to the maximum, just maxed out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, maybe there's some kind of ceremonious thing where one of us says it's a wrap, but generally we've been under so much stress making them that I can't recall us ever saying that. It's just
Plus, you know that like a half hour later, you have to go right into editing.
yeah. So yeah, it's a wrap. Doesn't mean you're done by any means.
Yeah, it's not a finishing point at all. Yeah.
It's for the
Where
actors.
There's celebration.
You're letting the actors and the crew know that they're done.
Yeah. Okay. That makes
So
sense.
congratulations for them, but it's good enough for us to say, okay, we're done.
We're on
'Cause
to
our
the next-
workload isn't done
The
yet.
next thing. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So that's basically it.
That's true.
Yep.
Let's take a listen to how they actually produce a film.
Well, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. I mean, if you've
Pre-production,
done your homework,
Production,
if you've done
editing,
yeah.
graphics. There's a process.
Saturday night after the shoot's done, after it's a wrap, you basically go back and you look at all the video footage you took.
You make
and
a
you
selects
choose
reel.
you make a selects reel, which means you choose your favorite takes, because you've done multiple takes of each shot, and you choose your favorite takes, and that's how you make sense of it.
I think this is a select reel. I mean, I really think this is a select reel. I can't wait to see the final footage.
We generally are pretty good about making like a shot list and stuff in pre-production, so that when we get after the shoot, when we're in post-production, assembling all the shots in the correct order is pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy to do once you've done that.
I think we had
pre-production
storyboards last time too.
Or shot lists. You generally don't have a lot of time because it's the 48 to do storyboards. So you generally go with shot lists.
Oh, okay. But you were right. You were right. You were referencing the script when we were editing last time. Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. So I mean,
whereas I was kind of just.
So to make sense of it all, yeah, I would recommend doing, after you've written the script on Friday night, to do a shot list, so that you don't have to worry too much if you got enough coverage. And then you can reference that shot list after the shoot once you're going through your footage in order to put things together so that everything makes sense.
And now let's listen to this.
Well, it's all learning experience.
Do or do not. There is no try.
I thought you were going to say something serious. I was like, really? Yeah.
Have fun. I don't know.
Try to have fun with it. But it is supposed to be stressful.
Try to have fun, accept the stress factor as a learning experience.
That's right. It's supposed to be stressful.
Yeah.
That's the fucking point. That's the point.
Okay. And accept and make it a learning experience and make it fun.
Yeah.
The great part of it is this, is that once you're done, over the course of 2 days, guess what? You have a movie.
Yeah.
And you get to show that movie after that.
That's true.
And it doesn't feel like it took that long to make.
Once you get to the end, it's like, oh, that was good.
Once you get to the end.
But during it,
it's kind of convenient.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
That's true. That is the best takeaway, is you make a movie in 2 days.
The process of it's stressful but fun. And then when you're done with it, the end result is it's great. It's good.
I agree. That's like the perfect way. Is that the last question?
That's the last question.
Perfect.
That's why I ended it on.
Yeah, that's perfect. Cool.
All right. We're done.
All right.
Thank you, Pete.
So what have you learned from being involved in the 48-hour film project?
It's an amazing learning experience.
What have you experienced?
It's an amazing learning experience.
How do you feel about the 48-hour film project here in Cleveland?
It's an amazing learning experience.
It's an amazing learning experience.